Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, look, we're at a desk where we don't look at each other and talk to each other. Evan and I are really liking this thing. So all the video can look at our side profile. How's the back of my fucking shirt, great. Logan?
Looks great.
Oh. Hi, Logan. Hot Logie's on the show today.
Oh, is
Check
he?
it and see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, Logan. How are you?
Sure is.
Check it.
I'm
see.
dandy. Glad to be back.
What do you do at Black Rifle Coffee?
Oh, God.
You're like the Swiss Army knife of Black Rifle Coffee.
I just give you a lot of compliments and just make sure you're living
That's
up
not
to your
true.
full
I was
potential.
showing Logan a song that I was trying to sing on, and he goes, "This is fucking terrible. You shouldn't sing. Matter of fact, don't talk for a week." And I'm like, "That's a little brutal."
It
Logan.
is not how that went down.
And
You
then
sent
they,
me.
and then they both got out of bed
and
yeah,
put their pants on.
Well, the
Little
best part about
J&J
Logan is I
oil.
can't get him pregnant. Like, he's like, dude, I have a dong.
As much as we try.
It just doesn't happen.
Well, and it's kind of like looking into a mirror, like a shorter, bearded version.
Yeah, like a little skinnier, a little shorter.
Yeah, it's exactly why you like Edwin, because...
No, because he looks like me. It's like your
Because
child. You
you're-
love your child because it looks like you.
But then that's weird when you bring around your significant other, because we do look very similar. And you're like, there's
Not
no
yours.
way that, like, no.
Yours is
Noel's
a different
loyal. It's
race.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, a different race.
Well, Noel
Like,
just
you
thinks
make it
all
sound,
white people look
you make
the
it
same.
sound so aggressive. She's a different race.
Matt is in an interracial relationship. He's very
Dial
progressive.
that back a little bit.
Well, actually, the funny thing is I don't know, and my wife doesn't even know exactly what ethnicity she is. She thought she was Spanish, and then there was Mexican, then when there was Italian, she's brown. So we're doing the 23andMe thing.
Yeah.
yeah. So what is it? Because you've done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great.
Is it really? I'm thinking about doing it as well.
Yeah.
My mom
So-
did it, and we're 70% Scandinavian. I was like, that's what's up.
Oh, you're Viking as
Fuck
fuck.
yeah.
Joe Rogan posted his Neanderthal results the other day, and I have more Neanderthal in me than Joe Rogan, so that's a little interesting factoid.
You're going to
Really?
have a little
Yeah.
bit more in you in a little bit.
Yeah, you are. After tonight.
Episode 400, we all have an orgy
Yeah.
together.
Drinking Bros has an orgy.
Whoa, you guys lost a lot of listeners.
You guys keep using comedy to do really gay shit and justify it.
Oh, that's an.
I did like that, the
interesting-
comment on Instructor Earl. Someone's like, what's up with military dudes always dressing up in drag? I guess I just don't think about it when
Do
you like
they?
in a skit.
That's not a
Dude.
thing.
But like in
you don't
skits,
see that
You
often.
have to know that. Look at Vet TV, dude. That wasn't a lie. Did you guys listen to that show by any chance?
Which one? The
The one with Vet TV when they came on the show?
Yeah, it was awesome.
One of the guys came out on the show.
What? Really?
Oh, so you guys didn't listen to the show?
No,
I
we didn't
listened to it, Ross.
I was
I
on the
remember.
show.
I didn't listen to it.
I was just
on the
waiting
show.
for
No,
it
it was in
Donnie,
Los.
and
It
I
was
was
in
a little
Los Angeles,
disappointed.
Evan. I don't think you were on that show.
Oh, okay. So we did more than one.
Yeah,
okay,
we did one
got
with
it. Okay.
Donnie.
So
but yeah.
what happened was that we Jared and I rented this, like, in Dave, fired Dave, rented this huge, like, Airbnb, and then we had people in and out, like, every day. Well, Vet TV shows up early, and there's like 20 of them. I caught a couple of them kissing on the mouth in the kitchen, like having coffee in the morning, and it was about 9 a.m. And then I saw some other, like, two other
It's a little
ones.
early
like,
for a gay joke. Like, are you guys playing
Yeah.
gay chicken at 9
there's
a.m.? Like,
no-
and there's no one else here.
No, this was not a.
Huh.
This was a real thing. So, and then I saw a couple others like rubbing each other's shoulders, and it was the same guy who kissed the other guy earlier. And when he came on the show, I finally just asked him. I was like, "Hey, man, like I know this is a comedy show," and I was like, "And truthfully, we don't care what you are, but like, are you a homosexual man? Like, I saw you kiss someone in the kitchen." And it was at like 9 a.m., so there was no jokes about it. Nobody was around. I just walked in to get some coffee as well, and he said yes on the show.
Huh.
Well, who cares? Was that his first, like, saying it ever? Or
It sounded like it. I mean, when we were asking
whatever.
him on the show, like,
my big thing with you, Ross, is I feel like you and Jared just go rent Airbnbs in cool ass places and drink for 5 days and then call it work.
we did 27 shows in 5 days. Yes, we were drinking, but that's a lot of fucking shows to do.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It is
27
called
is what?
Drinking Bros.
Drinking
I mean,
Bros, yeah.
Yeah.
We did, god damn, that was 27 shows. Was there playmates there? Yes, but I blame that on you. Missed out on that, not me. You know what I'm saying? You could have been there.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'll out Jared right now. You know, Jared is in Colorado with his lady friend because he posted a picture today on Instagram, and it was
serious.
Like me and my lady both wear the same uniforms, and I was like, all right, we're taking it to 11, dude.
Why? Why? I don't understand this. Like, can you please help me understand? Like, he's in a new relationship that is so serious every 2 weeks that I'm just like, I can't look at his Instagram anymore. I can't do it.
Can we not forget that he's married too? And let's not forget.
Well, no, hold on, and I don't need to talk about his endeavors, but Dave did bring up a good point that this is a good fail-safe here. He's married, so he can't run off to Vegas and get married.
You can't get double married.
You can't get double married.
Yeah.
So he's got a great excuse to slow the process of actual commitment contractually.
Hey, babe. I know it's been 7 years, but
I'm still married. Oh, bless his soul. I hope he's having a fun time.
By the way, I cringe watching the Instagram. I can't do it anymore because it's literally every 2 weeks it's somebody different, and then the comments underneath it is what gets me. Hey, there's always one guy who's like, "Hey, man, I'm so happy for your happiness, brother," and it's like, what? What? He was just with somebody else 2 weeks ago in the same pose, doing the same shit. Yeah.
Hey, just let him do him. You know, I'm just watching. You know, I'm sitting in the bleachers with a fucking ice cold beer and some popcorn, going, "Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen next?" But I'm watching.
I love it.
It's entertaining to say the least.
What am I supposed to follow your personal life? Like, oh, cool, Ross is happy and monogamous with his wife and having a kid. You know, that's not fucking fun.
No, but today was fun, Matt. Today was a real fun goddamn day, which is why I'm drinking around noon. My book my book came out today, and it got banned on Amazon.
Oh, really?
So the lawyers are involved now, and they said the response I got, it got pulled, and it seemed like a coordinated attack on 6 o'clock on Friday night, and I was like, it said it was sold out, and I was like, that's impossible. You can't sell out of books on Amazon. All of these publishers, like everyone across the board, is print on demand. They never will run out for the end of time. So we sent in some emails and all this stuff, and they were like, yeah, we're working on it. Finally, I had a lawyer call, and I got a very terse email response that said, due to the graphic violence and certain sexual depictions, that they were temporarily banning the book until further process. So
what are those certain sexual depictions?
So I racked my brain over this because I don't want to give this away because it's awesome, but it's first of all, it's comedic fiction. Nobody's underage. Nobody's, getting fucked with. There is an S&M depiction with Harriet Tubman. But she is beating St. James Street James. She is beating the man. So I don't understand why that's so fucking bad. Then there's something else further in the book that's kind of shock. There's some shocking shit in there, but no more shocking than the last one. Truthfully, the only goddamn thing that's happened since the last one is the election, and everybody's become a fucking pussy. So I don't know if this got reported because of this show or the cover or whatever the fuck happened. I can tell you this, though, because when people do get this book, Barnes & Noble is still selling it, Books A Million is still selling it, but Amazon is not. When people do get the book, there was something that was pulled. I had a picture of Stephen Hawking on the inside cover of the jacket. The only way to get rights to a Stephen Hawking photo and to use a quote from him was to use an actual real quote from Stephen Hawking. And that's kind of like a trademark issue. So I poured through 3 days worth of Stephen Hawking interviews and found a thing where he had gone to Antarctica. And his first response after getting off the plane in Antarctica was, not holy shit, but he said, oh my gosh, I forgot that my wheelchair doesn't have snow chains. And then it just said Stephen Hawking, 1997, and it was like a quote about that. They had some issues with that and said I could get sued from the family, so I changed the cover. But that was 2 months ago. And then the sexual fucking bullshit and all that thing today. So they stopped it. They banned the book, and then third-party sellers are on there. You guys know more about this side than I do. Third-party sellers are on there bootlegging it now for $500-$600 a copy, but like, are people allowed to? Why does Amazon let other people do that when they've banned it themselves? And why are third-party sellers doing that shit?
I'm sorry, I'm listening, but Evan's taking a nap on the floor, and it's really making me laugh.
Evan hates me more than life itself.
I don't know with that stuff, man. You know how that works. It's like when people decide they don't want your content to live on their forum. We talked about that last episode. They can cut it apparently, which fucking sucks. But they're super hypocritical with it, which is.
But do people sell, like, third-party sellers sell Black Rifle Coffee on Amazon? Is that a thing?
No.
Well, so you can if you authorize it. Now, if you go through and you actually have to pay an additional fee, of course, in order to create exclusivity for your own brand on Amazon. It's kind of crazy. Like, hey, I only want to be able to sell my brand, and I haven't authorized anybody else to do it. For you guys to enforce that, you're gonna have to pay some more money.
I know. It's a decent percent too.
I think the most interesting thing about this is that we are living in a time when people are essentially burning books and restricting free speech, and nobody is saying anything.
I think people seem afraid, don't they? Like, that's the take I get.
We're seeing it take place right now. We're seeing the 1930s literally in Germany unfold, where this hypersensitive environment that we live in, where people are so easily offended at words, and if it's comedy, this is fucking insane. And if they can't intellectualize what's happening. Like, any limitation on speech, like hate speech is one thing, when you're trying to incite violence and go out and commit acts of criminal activity or violent activity towards other people. That's one thing. But when you're restricting comedy, I mean, it's not as if, like, Ross Patterson, you wrote some Mein Kampf book. It's a comedy.
Yeah, about the Civil War and like the Transcontinental Railroad. So it's not.
It's fucking insane, dude. I don't understand how people can't see what's happening. This Alex Jones thing, the more that I read about the Alex Jones getting kicked off of all his channels, I don't listen to Alex Jones, so it's not. I do sometimes for entertainment.
Same.
I'll readily admit that.
Yeah.
But I get to turn the channel. That's how this whole thing works. You don't have to follow. You don't have to watch. Nobody's forcing you to believe somebody when they say the planet is run by, alien lizards. Like, nobody's forcing your fucking idiot minds to buy into this. Nobody. And it's like, you can't. So by pulling all of this and restricting people as crazy as they are, it's not like you're stopping on the sidewalk and talking to that crazy person that's got the sign that says, repent now because Jesus is coming tomorrow, and or right. I'm Jesus or whatever. You're not stopping and talking to that guy. Nobody's like going, hey, you know what? I heard it from the crazy person right. on the sidewalk. He told me that Jesus is coming tomorrow. Yeah. Everybody, and it's like, you guys fucking,
yeah.
you guys are
it's
like
fucking
the
God
crazy.
Murders gay thing. You just
yeah.
like walk right past that stupid fucking
just
asshole.
Walk right past it, tune it out, turn it off. Like, I don't understand how hard this is. It's not like they're force feeding people this information. Just turn it off. Do a little bit of research.
Yeah, it's gotten
easy.
It's gotten crazy, and like I texted you over the weekend about the Gavin McGinnis being banned from Twitter, and he was he's one of my favorites. He was actually going to come on the show, and then he got scooped up by CRTV, and they've got a paid platform and all that stuff. But right. He got banned from Twitter. He's a right guy, but he's very funny. If you go back, he did a great show with Rogan, maybe 20 or 30 episodes ago. That was really, really fun. Like, he's just a funny, awesome dude. And he was one of the co-founders of Vice. He kind of got fed up with the direction that Vice was taking, going left. He was super right. whatever, they parted ways. But Evan, I dug more into this. He had a group called the Proud Boys. Have you heard of this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
I didn't know too much about the Proud Boys, and then I looked it up, and Twitter was like kind of saying that, you know, it was because the Proud Boys are encouraged to, you know, cause violence. That's and that he.
What are the Proud Boys? I have no context here.
The Proud Boys is kind of like Fight Club, where he's like, he wants men to start being men and stop being pussies. So in order to join the Proud Boys, and I don't know if he did that name as a joke or not. Like I have no idea. I wanted to ask him on the show, but like because it's a really fucking funny name for a group of guys. But one of the things is you have to punch another man in the face. You have to get in a fist fight. And it's not against somebody you hate or disagree with. It's just, you know, against one of their own.
Yeah, that's just like good old fucking dude fun. Like my good memory I have, my brother, I went to his bachelor party. This is years ago, and him and his best friend were sitting there. We all been drinking because we went to Lake Tahoe to snowboard. And they're like, man, we're best friends, right? And he's like, yeah. My brother's like, man, but we've never fought each other. And he goes, well, let's go fight. And they literally just went out into the snowy street and my brother beat the fuck out of him. Like, to the point where I had to stop him because I was like, dude, I don't want to take you to the hospital. Both your eyes are swollen shut. Like, pretty good. But then the second they stopped, they shook hands, like, let's take a shot. And I'm like, all right. Dumb as fuck, but I thought it was cool. You got to bring that shit back once in a while, man.
That's what I think.
Because the problem is and I truly believe it's because the more technology that, you know, humans create, the more comfort we have, we're provided from a very early age, and we are so conditioned to that, you know, anything of mild discomfort, anything of mild hardship is completely discredited because, like, well, someone else needs to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. And I think that's kind of where future generations are going. And it's not like, okay, we have to go fist fight as 8-year-olds here, but like you need some form of grit and toughness to like live life. Life is fucking hard. It's challenging, and everybody will try to fuck you at some point, and it's a matter of being a dude and learning how to navigate through that and just being fucking tough. And a lot of people aren't tough these days. They're a bunch of fucking pussies that make excuses to fail and be fucking lazy, where our culture should be the exact opposite. You should make excuses to fucking succeed and help other people. And I don't know what the fucking answer or the fix to that is, but you see it everywhere in business, in our fucking military these days. It's just like, ugh, man the fuck up.
Yeah, and I'll read the description here because I just pulled it up off their website, the Proud Boys website. The Proud Boys are self-described Western chauvinists who adamantly deny any connection to the racist alt-right, insisting they are simply a fraternal group spreading an anti-political correctness and anti-white guilt agenda. So,
interesting.
Huh.
This is on their website.
Well, I think I really think any form of race guilt whatsoever is completely unacceptable. I also, to a certain degree, think that when people have an inordinate amount of race pride, there's a lot of interesting psychology there, where, you know, I'm from Mexico, I'm from Puerto Rico, I'm from this, and it's like, okay, but you're an American. And when we do, you know, our genetic research, we're quite literally tracing it all back to the same ancestral DNA. So based on the environments and how we've evolved, then there are different, you know, obviously different colors and people look a little bit different, but it's such a primitive way to look at your environment. It's super tribal. It's super reptilian portion of your brain. People only should be weighed on how well they adapt to your tribe and or what type of work, what type of ethics match up, right? So when you create a business, for instance, you're trying to create an ecosystem of like-minded people that are all mission-oriented. And it's okay that some people don't fit in your ecosystem. It's completely okay. And it's not only okay, it's legal. Like, you're trying to build a team, you know, for instance, in sports. If you want to succeed in football, you have to choose the guys that are the biggest, the most athletic, that are the most skilled, that are the most intellectually capable at conducting the actual, the act. You're not going to go, well, you know what? Dave's a good dude, but he's 5'7", a little bit rotund and way out of shape. But he's a good dude. We should put him on the fucking.
You're going to be the quarterback,
We should put him on the
Dave.
fucking Chargers.
You're going to be on the Chargers.
This is insane to think that everybody is created, and when I say this, everybody is created equal. Everybody is not created to do everything at equal capacity. That's fucking insane. It is fucking insane.
Differences, like
yeah,
everybody has them.
You're a foot taller than I am, roughly, right? I mean, 10 inches.
Something
you got
like
10
that.
inches on me.
I got 8 in you. What?
But it's like, what am I gonna? Am I gonna go ask? If I need help, getting the cups out of the fucking from above the counter, I'm gonna go ask Matt. He's fucking tall. He can grab something. I don't want to go get my step stool and fucking get up there and grab it. But it's like, I think if you just identify these things and say, oh, there are differences between all of us, but this, in being able to accept the differences and say, these are the traits that make this person wonderful and a perfect fit for this specific thing, that's amazing. I guarantee the guys doing physics at MIT, building the next generation of rockets for a space program, because the world is round and there is something called space, they're also not the guys that are going to be playing on the line in the NFL.
But that's the hard part.
Statistically speaking.
But people can't understand that there are differences in there. Like, it's just like me. I'm not smart enough to be a rocket scientist or a spaceship gunner. I could do that job, but I couldn't build a spaceship. Like, I know that I'm not smart enough, so I've condition my life in other ways to be exceptional at other things. And I think people have a really hard part because they wake up one morning and be like, I want to be a heavyweight UFC champion. We're like, cool. You and Brock Lesnar did not come from the same fucking genome. Like, right. That is an animal, and you are not fit for that. Like, it's just like it's the reality, and people can't. They don't want to accept reality sometimes.
I would like more of these people to start identifying as grizzly bears and lions and going out and living with them.
With the packs?
Yeah. Like, you know what? I'm a fucking wolf. I'm going to go live with the wolves and just see how long that lasts. It doesn't, it just doesn't, it's not going to happen. It's not reality. And I think the further away people the further away people move from reality, the crazier this conversation is going to get. In the United States, the conversation, in my mind, it's already out of control. Nobody's saying like you're superior, but you have to at least look at two people and say, this person is 5 feet tall. They have limited muscle mass. They're hyper intelligent, but they're not going to be put on an NBA team typically.
Well, there's a reason, like, why when you show up to Ranger Battalion, the fucking 6'2", 230 guys, like, here's a Gustav, and you're on the fucking heavy weapons squad. Right. There's a reason for that, because that motherfucker has to go fast rope out of a helicopter with that heavy fucking thing, and other fucking body types will probably break on that. But then in Vietnam, it's like, who's going to go down the fucking hole with the 1911? Probably you're that guy. I'm not that guy.
I'm the guy. I'm non-claustrophobic. I look forward to a really good gunfight. I look forward to killing some dudes in a tunnel. Yeah. I'm the guy.
And I'm up for a good old-fashioned gunfight.
Yeah,
listen here. Who's up for a gunfight?
Let me ask you, though, what made you that guy, though, Evan?
I don't know.
Were you born with it, or?
I think it's partly genetics, and I think it's environmental, and I think it's probably a lot of individual indoctrination with coupling of experience. I think that's kind of everything there. What?
Well, it's exposure to harsh environments, right? Like putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, which is the exact opposite of what's going on with the generation now. Is like they're being sheltered and they're not exposing themselves to uncomfortable environments or situations, and so they're coming out super sensitive about everything. It's like, well, that's not the way the world is. Like, go to someplace overseas, and it's so easy to see that the world doesn't work the way that you want it to. It's auto-revolving.
It's the kingdom, man. It's the wild kingdom. Like, they're so sheltered and in this bubble of it really is a utopian bubble for this huge portion of the American population.
Dude, we always used to joke about that. We won the fucking life lottery.
Yeah.
Like, I used to always make jokes about this, and whether you think it's right or not, but like, I'm driving down a vehicle, and like, you could be in a position where you're bitching about having to be deployed and overseas, but then you see the poor fucking farmer in Afghanistan with a mule pushing a cart in 120-degree weather, and you're like, homeboy did not win the life lottery. And I guarantee that motherfucker might bitch a little bit, but he can't fucking quit, because if he quits, he dies.
Yeah.
Like, that's his fucking reality.
Yeah.
Every goddamn morning he wakes up. Guess when he breaks his ankle, he can't even go to a fucking doctor because they don't goddamn have him. And if they do, they're probably gonna like put some tape on that and call it a day. I don't know. And that's not discrediting the culture. I'm just saying that's the world we live in. Like, we won the life lottery being fucking, born in America. And granted, you can always try to benefit our society and help it grow and become a more contributing culture. But at the end of the day, like, geez, man, we got it pretty fucking easy.
We have it great. We should all just generally be grateful.
We're doing jumping jacks with their dongs out every morning. Like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always so fucking happy. I could bitch about a gajillion things. I wake up and I'm like, fucking, my legs work, dude. Sunshine's coming in. I'm alive. Woo! Let's go suck this day's dick, man.
My penis
I
works.
always think about that. Where there's this dude I used to pass in Kabul all the time. You might even remember him. He was a legless man on like a board with wheels.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah,
that's funny.
and he was like, he had gloves on. He would like cruise around with his gloves on, and he would beg. The dude was filthy because the streets of Kabul are fucking filthy. And this dude was smiling and like putting thumbs up as people were driving by, and it was so surreal to see this guy begging on the street, smiling. He has no legs and he's scooting around on a board. Really disformed. He was in we would think that all the time. We're like, dude, we are so lucky to have been born in this country. And
I watched this thing the other day. It was Terry Crews giving an interview. It came out like a couple weeks ago, and I don't know his background or what his political beliefs, whatever. I'm just talking about the way he spoke in life, and he was talking about his movie career, that he used to be a bodyguard for Hollywood guys on set. And then one day, training day, they were like, hey, dude, you want to be in this film? And he was like, oh shit, like, I'm not okay. And the director was like, yeah, just go clap some pigeons over there. And he came back a week, started getting into film, and then it as his career went forward, he got on Expendables, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I guess he was super not happy about his small role. He's like, I think I deserve a better role. He's being a dick on set. And then he said, one day I just woke up and said, why am I being fucking negative? Let me change my attitude. I'm going to be happy and positive to everybody. Well, that positivity carried through on set, and Sly wrote him into the end scene where he shotguns everybody and kills like 45 people. That scene was never written, but Sly was like, I like you, man. Why don't you go fucking have an epic kill montage? And he's just like, man, life's about your attitude. And if you have a negative attitude, you're going to find negativity in life. It is going to fucking stick to you like flies on shit. But if you have a positive fucking attitude, I guarantee more than not, you're always going to find success, because you find the wins in life. And those wins are up to you. It's completely subjective.
Yeah, and that's something I need to work on, to be honest with you. Like, I tend to dwell in the negative, and I wish I didn't. I think Evan does too, by the way.
I think Evan's a very happy person. I think he's just sometimes cynical.
Well, when I asked you, I think on episode 300, like about the success of Black Rifle and all that stuff, and you were like, yeah, cool. A couple of listeners were like, man, how is that guy not fucking amped about everything? And I was like, I sat back and thought about it, and I was like, there's so much shit going on, and you're in the middle of it right now that you can't, see how amazing it is from the outside, but everybody else does. So. Look,
but that's the thing in business, and I think I was on a podcast yesterday, and I was explaining this. I was like, man, this business and growing a business like Black Rifle, the way that we've done it for the last 4 years, this has been, and I think a lot of people think that this has been easy, because that's what he told me. He's like, well, it really looks easy from the outside. I'm like, this has been there almost every day for 4 years. This is looking up a mountain with like a big heavy pack on, that where the mountain doesn't end. And it's like, man, it's fun. I love to climb mountains. Don't get me wrong. Like it's great. You get tired, you get worn out. You continue to keep putting one foot in front of the other, I love the business, and I would never be sitting here saying this is amazing. It's an incredible opportunity, and there are days where, you look back and you're like, it's truly surreal as far as the growth and how happy we've been able to put everybody together. But there's so much as far as being able to put this thing together and move it down the road every day. And the other piece to that is when you're dealing with the complexities of the internet, the internet is not kind to anybody. So, you got to like suck it up, buttercup, get up out of their bed. Matt and I've talked about it a lot where, you take it on the chin, man. You take it on the chin. And, I think it weighs on me a little bit where people have gotten this completely different idea of us and the company. They've tagged us as like, fuck, like everything under the sun. I think the Nazi comments are like the single most derogatory and or insulting fucking comments because they're so stupid on one hand, and then there's no course of the conversation that can take place post that. But it does, like the internet, I think starts to weigh heavy on your fucking shoulders at times. Woe is me, right? It's like, man, you guys got a great successful company, but it's a long way from the point. And I think a lot of people are like, well, you guys should be like, fuck, dude, you guys could be flying hot air balloons and fucking driving Ferraris. And it's like, no, man, like this is
Ferraris
a
are
job.
Fucking lame, by the way.
Yeah,
Ferraris
they're super
are fucking lame.
It's a job. It's a lot of work, and it's an amazing gift to have this much work. And we should never take it for granted. I definitely don't, because I fucking truly respect and love the people that support the company. I think there are times when you just get beat down sometimes, you just get beat down, and a lot of it just comes from the internet. You fucking get sucked in, and you're like, God damn.
But at the end of the day, I'm not on missing my legs in Afghanistan and Kabul, pedaling on a skateboard. So I always have that. What's the opposite of a chip on my shoulder? I always have that little silver lining in my pocket.
A cherry in your ass?
What?
I think that's what it's called.
God, dude, I got the greatest cherry in my ass. Like, is that a metaphor, or is this I wonder if there's someone that could tie a cherry thing with their butt. I guarantee there's someone out there.
Or with their
urethra.
Yeah.
Is that you, Logie?
Logan could definitely do it.
I can see you do it. You're kind of
I'll be
femme.
the first to try.
Yeah, I can see you going by one day. You're kind of femme, like kind of Ruby Rose-ish. In a nice way. You're a very attractive man, but you're very slender.
We should get some submissions for Date Logie, because he's a good-looking, hard-working guy, and you're not in a serious relationship.
I'm not in any relationship.
You're serious about being non-monogamous in lots of relationships.
Sure.
So 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah, we're there. Long division.
Yeah,
we got there.
Real long division. And for the ladies at home,
that's why we couldn't be a rocket scientist. Right there.
Yeah,
I couldn't even figure that one out.
And for the ladies at home who don't know what Logan looks like, you look like the lead singer of Kings of Leon. Like, you're a good-looking dude. I don't understand what the fucking story is.
Who the fuck knows what the lead singer of Kings of Leon looks like?
Come on, he's famous as shit. Let's be real.
Look at this photograph. That's the right song, right? Oh, Dave can pull it up for us.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Dave can pull this guy
Kings
up.
of Leon. I bet he's going to be a hipster little fuck.
He's married to a supermodel.
Yeah.
He's got a beard and some piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you were
got
talking
longer
shit.
hair.
I don't see it.
He definitely is way softer features.
Yeah, you're way more of a rugged man.
Yeah.
And that's fair. You're like a rugged dude. If you watch his documentary, though, that's the craziest rock documentary I've ever seen. They live in fucking trailers out, and they don't even have where he grew up with his family. They're so redneck in the woods, they don't even have indoor plumbing.
They do.
Really?
They have a great story. So Leon, correct me if I'm wrong, Russ, but Leon is their grandfather, right?
Yes.
Are they all a family in the band?
So yeah, they're all. The only one that isn't a brother is the bassist, and I think he's a cousin, but they're all family.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a really good doc.
And they live, I mean, it's like catching like shit in the creek, and that's how they're eating. I mean, it is so far removed from the rest of society. And I want to say it's in like Louisiana.
Pretty dope, then.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So like now that they've made it and they're super rich and famous and married to supermodels and shit, they took their like model wives back there, and it was just it was weird, man.
It was weird. It's like going back to a scene from Deliverance, like hillbillies with banjos and fucking overalls and no teeth. It's
God, that sounds great,
dude.
Right?
No,
that's a
he's
simple
not
life,
lying,
bro.
by the way.
I like that.
Yeah, he's not lying. Like they're wearing overalls. No, I mean. They're dirty as fuck. They look like they've been showered or brushed their teeth. The whole family in like years.
Bro, I'm telling you, if I ever decide like I'm just done and I'm financially there one day somewhere, and I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be a dirty. Well, I already wear the same shorts every day and sandals, but a dirty little hillbilly fuck that all I care about is my deer lease. Loving on my wife, and that's it.
Well, we're kind of already on our way. Like the best ranch is kind of coming the weekend getaway where we go off and be Boy Scouts for the
Except
weekend.
for some, we just end up working all weekend, and then I remember I was like, "Oh, it's Saturday, right?" You're like, "Matt, it's Sunday." I'm like, "Fuck, I got meetings this morning."
True, but like I mean, Sunday we finished a video. We spent most of the day drinking and shooting bows and cooking meat.
Could be far worse things doing in life.
No, it's epic.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
that was a great day.
And
I will just
my
say
own
I
gym there now.
enjoyed it.
Woo! Man,
yeah, you're
blessed.
setting up for the end of the world. Like you're good on life in that house.
No,
I
life's
feel
about efficiency, man. Life's about efficiency. Like I would have to drive 30 minutes to a gym that meets my training requirements, and that burns up an hour on the road. It just doesn't make sense. And so I was like, I'm gonna build my own gym.
Oh, I get it. I mean, it's
creating
fucking
your own
incredible.
reality, right?
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see humans create their own reality.
Yes.
Like when they have the time and the resources to be able to do that. Like what is in that human's brain and what are they going to do creatively? I really want to fucking see, like, let's just give Jared $1 billion and just see what the fuck happens.
That's actually probably the only reason Evan and I are trying to do this so hard is so we get him a lot of money one day, and then we just say, Go, create.
You go do you.
Oh my god, dude! Can I tell you
would
that
be
would be
so
wonderful.
epic.
Like that's the moment I want to like, yes, give this man a camera crew because you don't have any fucking idea what's going to happen.
That's weird. I think that's a very self-reflective thing you could do with yourself. It's like if I had every and all resources to provide any sort of happiness in my life, what does that look like? Like, what does that look like? Because I think a lot of people initially go, okay, let's think of material items. I want a Lambo. I want a fucking watch. Like, I've never been that guy. Like, I want happiness and like a support system around me that is like people that influence my life in a positive manner, which is like why you guys are at my house this weekend. We're cooking because I'm like, that's the environment I want to create, because my biggest part of happiness comes from like creating something and then sharing that with people. It's why I like to cook. It's why we do videos and all these things. And I'd be curious for people to do that exercise and see what does that look like in your own mind, because I think that's a good way of kind of leading you on the path in life where you should go. Like, what does my happiness look like?
Yeah, and being able to like, you want to create those things that you can look back on in, a year or a decade and say like, you know what, I'm really fucking proud of that. Like even now we're in the middle of this thing and it's really nice. Like I know this thing that we've been chugging along at, like I'm really fucking proud of it. Yeah. And it's nice, and you're going to have that thing looking back 10 years from now. You're like, man, that was a great part of my life and it makes me happy to be where I am because I did that thing.
Well, I think it's a really hard. I've had challenges in that way in my life previously, where you kind of fall into like a social construct of what I should be doing. I should be working this job. I should be doing this. Like I was doing this contracting, security gig in Los Angeles, and like literally one morning I just kind of woke up and was like, why the fuck am I here? I hate my relationship. I hate my job. I hate where I'm living. And I was like, fuck it. I called my dad and was like, can I move back in with you for like 6 months while I get my shit together? And I just uprooted my whole life. And I swear the second morning I woke up there with no money in my bank, and I was like, I've never been more happy than this right now, because all I have to focus on is what Matt wants to do in life and where my next fucking chapter is. Whereas before I was so scared of that. I was like, I won't have money. Where am I going to work? I'm like, I'll figure it out. And then I obviously did. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's been said a million times over, but happiness has to come from within. Like that can't be something that happens from outside sources. Like, yes, you can create an atmosphere in which things facilitate your happiness, but ultimately that has to fucking come out of you.
Well, then, yeah, and surrounding people that are influential in that happiness. Like, I think that you can hit a meter, but then like surrounding yourself with people that care about that happiness is like super important, because that's where those fake friends come in. Is they actually want to see you to fail. The only reason they're there because they're fair with their friends. They're like, I'm here because I subsequently benefit from your successes and the environment you've created. Like, fuck those fucking assholes. I want the dudes like you guys where if I'm poor as fuck, everything's gone away, we'll still figure out some way to have fun. We'd be fucking the best panhandlers on the block.
We've been poor as fuck for like 4 years. So, like, basically, like that's we just like roll back the clock a couple months, and there you go. That was what it was like.
I saw some comment about that. I was like, I think people forget I contract for like almost 6 years. I'm like, that's where that gym shit came from.
Yeah,
I didn't spend it on anything else.
It's so funny, man.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't even want to talk about money. Fuck it. And that was something I was thinking about today. I'm being all weird today, but how certain people in our community and cultures in general like preach for certain success, and then when people in those environments find somewhat of like portions of success, they get ridiculed for it. And you're like,
wow,
I thought we want people to be successful here. And then the second someone is, it's like, fuck that dude. It's all out of jealousy. And you're like, I would love to see so many other people in our community fucking be successful. When they do, I love it. It's like, that's awesome. We can all share it together, bro. Like, there's a fucking...
Well, especially the veteran community, like, we should be the fucking beacon for this country that's like, oh, fuck, like, these guys sacrifice for this land, this ideal, this place, this region. And now they're doing this after going through all that. Like, there's an enlightenment that comes with that. And we can't do that if we're fucking at each other's throats all the time.
Fuck no. And I think that we've done a pretty decent job, and I'll put a lot of that in Evan, with like relationships in the past that have been broken, mending those and realizing like, wow, we just kind of had a toxic person being the navigator and median of that relationship. And then once you find out, like, sure, we might not be like homies that are going to drink every Saturday together, but we can still have shared successes and create more value in our culture, provide more opportunity to the people that we care about, instead of cutting our fucking throats where it inhibits us, it inhibits you, and then the other people don't get any opportunity because we're going at each other and we're wasting time, energy, and emotion on that shit. Like, all that focus should be going on driving things forward and creating more value and happiness in life. Like, that's the end goal. How do I have value and happiness in life? Like, that's it. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and leading by example for those who look up to you for inspiration.
Yeah, like, Jared showing us how to live a true happy relationship.
He is. Yeah.
Like, hashtag two weeks strong, dude.
Hashtag 2 weeks.
I hope they get a cupcake and celebrate 1 month in their relationship.
I told you last night, she's the type of person who looks like she claps when the plane lands. Like, she looks excited that this thing's coming out.
Oh my God. We made it. I do love that. There's when the clappers, but what you got to do to really fuck with people, every time there's terrible turbulence, ride it like a roller coaster. I go, woo! And everybody's praying and scared. I'm like, only thing that's fucking saving this plane is the pilot, in my opinion. I mean, sure, throw a prayer in there if that's your thing, all about it. But, I want to ride the plane down like a fucking roller coaster if that's the way.
Oh, like the guy who stole the Alaska Airlines
this
plane.
Sucks. Could have done so much more.
Like the guy who stole the Alaska Airlines plane over the weekend. That was the greatest thing of all.
Crazy.
Yeah. Skyman.
Crazy.
Skyman.
What did he do, right? He stole it in Utah and drove it into a house?
No.
His own house.
There was two
Seattle.
different.
No, there was two different.
Yeah, Seattle. Sorry.
Yeah, the one in Seattle. I was listening to it in live time because I was on Twitter and some people were on the runway and they were like, "Hey, man, they've stopped us on the runway. This guy appears as if he stole a plane." And you could listen. There was an app to go into the controller account,
Dude,
the air traffic controller account. So I listened to this guy for like 20 minutes. He was fucking hilarious, dude. Really funny guy.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, man, you think I could do a barrel roll with this thing? I mean, he was doing.
The thing I love about it is like, sure, he stole property, right? But like, he didn't put anybody else in that plane. It was just him. Like,
and he
fuck it.
he told the ground control. He said, look, I'm not going to harm anybody, because they were like, hey, we're going to try to talk you into landing that. And he goes, that's probably a bad idea. He goes, I definitely can't land this plane. And he goes,
what happened? Did it crash?
Yeah, so he crashed it into an island that was, just a vacant, like small, tiny island. Like it just looked like forest. And he crashed it on his own, but he was trying to do loop-de-loops. He tried to do a barrel roll.
Did he die?
And they were asking him, they were like, sir, how do you do you want us to give you instructions, on how to at least try to attempt to land this? And he goes, no, I've played enough video games. Like, I feel pretty confident.
Is this real?
This is all.
Did he die?
100% real. Yeah. So he
crashed and died.
He crashed and died. And
dude, that's a fun way on the way out, man.
That's what I said.
And no one else got hurt.
No one else got hurt. Just him. He took the plane down. It was about a 75 seater. It was one of those Alaska Airlines 400 things. And right now,
but he took off. He got off.
Not only did he take off, but he was in the air for 20 minutes. So all these people in real time as this is going on are on Periscope and Twitter, and they're showing videos of him because he's flying real low because he's trying to do these tricks with a commercial like jetliner. And so there's all this footage. So like you're watching it and I'm listening to it in real time. And the guy was fucking hilarious. Like really funny dude and just really honest about his situation. And he was just like, he goes, man, you could probably blame this on me just being a mechanic and getting $15 an hour, but that's probably why I did this. He's like, I didn't know I had a couple screws loose until I got in the plane and stole this thing. And he's saying it exactly like that.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Yeah,
that's
so
epic.
All of the audio is on YouTube if you want to get it. And, he apologized to his family and all that stuff to start with because he was like, I'm sorry that I'm doing this, but this is how I wanted to live my life and end it and all this shit. And you were just like, oh my God. But again, like, he's just going back and forth with this guy. And he goes, they were like, where are you going to fly to? And he goes, man, my dream would be to find that orca, with the dead baby one who's been dragging it around like on its back for 17 days. I'd like to fly over that. And they're just like, yo. And meantime, this guy's got to direct 50 other planes on the runway. So he's going back and forth in the most calming voice he can, this air traffic controller, while this other crazy guy is just chirping in saying, hey man, you think I can do a barrel roll? Greatest way to go.
I don't know why I think this is so epic.
It's amazing.
I don't like, obviously it's a huge, very illegal, but it's like the story itself. If you heard that in a bar, like, well, so what happened to your Uncle Bob? And it's like, well, my Uncle Bob actually stole a jet. You would never believe it. That's an unbelievable story.
It is. Yeah. It is. And the guy's name is Bebo Russell. Really funny dude. Like,
Bebo.
Yeah, he's like 28, white guy. He looks exactly like you picture this guy.
Bebo?
Yeah. Like a Bebo, and he's just like a normal person. And the weirdest thing is his parents had to release a statement yesterday, and they were like, look, contrary to what happened on Saturday night, he was actually like a really kind and like loving dude. And we're sorry for what happened or whatever. But
I think he went out in a pretty kind and loving way.
That's what I said.
He's like, don't worry, not gonna hurt anybody. I'm gonna find a fucking island. There's nobody in there. I'm gonna fucking dirt nap this plane. Oh my Lord, dude.
Yeah. So the full audio is available on YouTube if you type in SeaTac or because it's the 9th largest airport in the world. So like he was one of those guys who was on the runway every day working at the airport and then, just decided to steal the fucking plane and end it. Nobody was on it. Nobody else got hurt. And that's it. It was just him.
He looked up YOLO and went by the book, man.
Yeah.
That's
shit.
The definition of YOLO is, that is the definition.
You only live once. Can I add to this definition? And it's about Jared. Since he's still married.
It's your fucking show too.
Why not? But since he's still married, the greatest thing ever happened last night, probably around 7:00. My wife is 3 days overdue and she still hasn't had the baby. She's kind of in the dumps. A gigantic package arrives at the front door. And Jesse reads it. She's like, oh man, this is weird. This is from Caitlin, Jared's wife. Opens up the box. There's enough gifts in there for an entire baby shower. The nicest shit on the planet. I'm talking like Beyonce baby gifts in there.
Whoa.
To the brim. And the card that she wrote said, hey, Jesse, congratulations on the new baby. This is what it's like when you're still married to Jared, but he's with other women, and I have his credit card. Also, and then no lie, but she goes, also, he probably doesn't even know you're pregnant and is probably going to ask what company this is from, when he sees it on his card, if he even checks this sort of thing. Congratulations on the new baby.
Oh, epic.
I mean,
epic.
That's a really selfless way to use someone else's money. Or I don't know what financial thing they have going on, and I can't speak to it, but I wouldn't be mad,
No.
I didn't even think about giving you a baby gift. So
I know. Well, why would you? I mean, it's more of
Do guys think about that?
No, we don't.
They don't.
No.
Like no
I'm sure
guy.
certain guys, but not me.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's like buying me. I didn't give birth to her.
Exactly.
I'm the guy.
To my kids.
Well, it's like when it's
I didn't do anything.
when it's like Charlotte's birthday and all that. Like I don't know what to get a 5-year-old girl. So of course Logan does, but I usually just ask KS. I'm like, hey, can you buy her like 3 dope gifts? Keep it under $200, and then they're for me because I don't know what she wants.
I made a donation for your child.
Yeah.
Into to this nonprofit to save puppies from wood chippers.
Dude, let's start some fake
expensive.
GoFundMes. Dude, can you imagine that? I don't want to do GoFundMe. Actually, it would be cool because then you could just donate the money. But it's like, help us save puppies from wood chippers. Yeah. People are like, is this real? It's so terrible.
I have to donate.
I have to donate. And we just turn around and donate it to like some wounded guy's family or something.
Exactly. Put a wheelchair ramp in a house and
fuck yeah,
deck it out. Hey, by the way, we are going to renovate Crispy's house, so that'll be something everybody will look forward to.
Yeah,
we're gonna
our master plan too. Yeah, it's it's gonna be Evan, myself, Logan will participate as well, and we're actually just gonna do it ourselves.
Yeah. Shoot footage of this, please, and put it up online.
No,
yes,
we are for
okay,
sure.
Great.
Yeah, because he's gonna love it.
He's going to love it.
He's going to love it.
It doesn't seem like he's going to love it. Just kind of sensing something in your voice that he's not going to love it.
He's
home renovations, veteran style.
We figured like instead of good food in the fridge, we're just going to fill the fridge with MREs.
Yeah.
And then maybe the fridge, there's some stairs going up to the we're fucking with Crispy that we're going to mess with his house. It's a good one.
Should be funny.
You just put
really funny.
Dirty veteran humor.
Yeah, like just put all gas grills in there, like that type of. Like, how dark are you guys going?
Jesus, man.
No, that's what Crispy said to me.
You gotta light Crispy's got to light the pilot light to wash the dishes. Like, what the fuck? Super fucked up.
On a real note, though, if you actually check out Crispy or Omar Villa's, It's Who We Are that we just posted on Black Rifle last week. Check it out. He has such a compelling, epic story, and we're doing a 3-part series for it that Logan's been hammering out, and it's too legit to quit, as someone would say. So.
He's fucking awesome, man. And he's super open and honest about his whole sitch. And look, he's been on the show a bunch of times, but like he's truly like that in real life. When we were doing that live show in Vegas, he tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "Hey man, can I have some of that Lead Slingers whiskey?" And I was like, man, it's kind of for everybody up here for the show. And he goes, "Dude, I'm fucking burnt to shit, bro. Can I have some whiskey?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course." Like, and that's how he just talks to everybody.
For not giving a friend whiskey. What the fuck?
No, because there was like 90 people up there, and I was like, I didn't know if we were doing it live or it was like a prop for the thing. But
he was in at the office today, and he was just like, "Fuck, I got to go to a doctor's appointment." Like, "Oh, what for?" He's like, I got to drain all this fluid out of my knee. Whatever. You're like, Jesus, you're tough.
Yeah, he is tough.
He's a tough.
That was literally an hour ago.
Yeah, it was an hour ago when he was.
But a lot of people don't know Crispy's whole entire story. I didn't know all of it until I started going through this interview and this footage, and like, it's fucking amazing. Like the incident in which Crispy was blown up. Like, I haven't heard anything remotely close to what he went through and continuing to fight through. Like, it's absolutely incredible. I can't wait for.
And I didn't know Crispy has 2 Purple Hearts. He got shot in the arm before, and then still pretty much did the same thing. Carried on in the fucking gunfight, and then the next thing happened down the road. I'm like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Stand a little far away from me, please, Chris.
Is he around the office a lot? We should have a one-on-one about his life story, because I think it would be fascinating for everybody of what he truly did go through.
Yeah. We should do that around Veterans Day when
his 3-part series comes out. That'd be cool. Then talk in more depth. And I think if people watch that, we could have some questions submitted, and he could talk through it. I think he's very open. He's the guy that's like will show every vulnerability and anything that he thinks is like a trial and tribulation that he's had in his life, and use that to help other people not make those mistakes again, which is like why I love being around the guy. He just wants to help out people. It's awesome.
He's always super motivated and happy, just like ready to go. It's fucking awesome, man. Like, that guy's like, he's cut from a very unique cloth, and without guys like that, like, God, man, I don't know. Like, when I look around, I'm like, Omar's one of those guys where you're like, every time he comes through the door, like breathes life into the building.
Sunshine,
like,
dude.
Yeah, it's like pure sunshine. Like,
yeah, I've never looked at him and be like, "Oh, Crispy's in today" or something. It's always just like, "Oh shit,
oh shit, Crispy's here." Yeah, fuck yeah.
We should call him the chief of happiness.
And he's always smiling, dude. He's always smiling and laughing. Like I don't think I've ever seen that guy with a frown on his face, like ever.
No. I mean, very rarely, I suppose.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. All right, you guys want to get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week?
Sure.
Yep. This one was, this is really fresh. By the way, for everybody listening at home, go to Drinkin' Bros podcast page and submit your Drinkin' Bros of the week. That's where we read this in the inbox. It's usually Fire Dave that responds
perfect
to people. But this one was like brand new, so I don't even know this story, actually. This was submitted by Chris Wardy. He said, I would like to nominate this week's Drinkin' Bro of the Week to the UK first responders in London who responded to today's terror attack. Forgive me, I haven't read the news yet the last couple hours. Counter-terror officers arrived on the scene within minutes, rushing a suspect not knowing if he was armed in the car or was rigged with explosives after a car crashed into Parliament not long after running over a number of pedestrians. Thank you for everything you do. There's a picture with it. Holy shit. I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to look this up today, but
yeah, Dave's pulling up the article right now.
Cheers.
Damn.
Shit. London's having a lot of shit like this recently, man.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And this driving into people
cheers
thing.
To you guys.
Yeah, this driving into people thing seems to be the new norm around the world. Fuck.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. Fuck.
All right, man. Well, stay safe out there, everybody. For Matt Best, Evan Hafer, Logie, dude, thanks for being on the show. You're fucking awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hot Logie, dude.
Logie.
Date Hot Logie. Hey, Logan, where can women hit you up on the DMs on your Instagram?
Logan Stark.
Logan Stark. Look at that.
That's it. That's my handle. Yep, simple.
That's his handle.
Yeah, it's his handle.
Well,
it's also his real name.
He's got a different handle.
Grab the other handle, ladies. Go to @Logan Stark on Instagram. Slide him some nudes. That always brightens a guy's day. Thanks for listening.